Welcome to this session of Dream Body Lifestyle TV Nutrition Workshop. When you look at statistics, 85% of people that try to lose weight always fail in the first 2 years. You have more people that are recovering alcoholics, recovering from tobacco, smoking, and cancer survivors than people that have been able to lose weight and keep it off. From a physical point of view, we have a lot of reasons why people fail. And one of those becomes one, of course, nutrition. Two is exercise and changing habits around their day-to-day lives. Now, those becomes the physical things that needs to be done to lose weight. But there is a lot of intrinsic or internal conflict that happens that most of us never prepare for. So in this session, we're going to go through the pattern that you go through mentally, physiologically, and of course biologically, and the solution, what needs to be done even before you start your next weight loss program, your next diet, or even before you can invest your money in a gym. What we have here is what we call the weight loss cycle of change. Now, this happens in every single area of your lives, be it a new relationship, getting into a new job, moving to a new city, any kind of changes that you go through, studying for a new course, you always have to go through these stages. And if you do not understand this, majority of us have a tendency to give up too quickly, and we end up keeping on repeating the same thing. But let us use this and narrow our focus to weight loss. The first stage here is the start phase. This is where you've realized that you have a problem. All of a sudden, you can't fit in your skinny jeans. All of a sudden, your belt is become too tight. All of a sudden, you can't button your blouse. All of a sudden, you can't stand yourself in the mirror. All these physical things. You've got knees in your back. You've got knees in your knee, pain in your knees. You've got knees everywhere. And at that point, you realize something needs to be done. And like usual, you'll always see cues. If it's Dream Body Fitness, where it's going to be your first call of port, you will either see us on Facebook, you'll either see us on YouTube, you'll either see one of our trailers talking about lose 12 kilos in 12 weeks, or alternatively, you'll have a friend or somebody that you know that has been through our program and they're telling you about the success that they've been able to achieve, but they never take you through that. Now, immediately people realize they have a problem. The next phase is what we call an informed optimism. You decide that I'm going to get into a gym, I'm going to diet, I'm going to lose all this weight, I'm going to look so hot, I'm going to fit into my skinny jeans, I'm getting married in 12 weeks, I'm going to be 12 kilos lighter, I'm going on holiday, it's a school reunion, I'm going to have to go to school and show the girls that are still Garrett, all those things you do. But this is what we call an informed optimism, because you can see the end. You're already enjoying how you're going to look, but you haven't really realized what the cost is. There's a lot of things that we talk about here. And the first one, the first cost that has to be paid for here, of course, is money. The second one here is time. These are the two costs that most people will always budget for. But these are the least and the less expensive costs when it comes to weight loss. Let's look at the soft costs. Number one here is commitment. Number two is discipline. Number three here is sacrifice. Number four, of course, pain. Number five is frustration. Of six here, of course, we always have an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost here is you could have been at home with your kids. You could have been at home watching telly. You could have invested that time to study. You could have invested that time to write up a new business plan. All those things are never factored in. Because we factor this in and we decide that, you know what, I've paid my money and I've taken 3 hours a week, I'm going to gym, I have to lose weight. Buddy, that's the biggest lie that you've ever been told. Because if you do not do any of this, if you're not committed enough, if you do not have the discipline to change your habits, if you don't sacrifice in the meantime, because for every goal that you achieve in life, you always have to let go of one. You can't be two people at the same time. The pain that your body is physically going to go through pain, because every time you exercise, from a physiological point of view, it's one big wound because you're tearing down your muscle tissue. So there's going to be a lot of pain here that most people won't be able to go through. Now, the pleasure that you want here is through that pain. It's behind the pain. You have to go through pain. Frustration, eating right, exercising hard, and doing your assessment, and you don't get the result that you want. Now, all this, among other things, most people don't. Now, the minute this happens, we come to level number 3 here, and this is what we call the valley of despair. This is where majority of people end up. And this will always happen in the first 3 weeks. Week number 1, week number 2, week number 3, you've exhausted everything, but you haven't gotten the results that you want. And this is where the excuses start coming in. You say, this program is not working for me. I've got my mother's hips. I'm too old. I've got kids now. How do I expect to look the way I used to look before? You start giving excuses. And why do people give excuses? We always give excuses because we want to feel better. We always give excuses because we want to give up. We always give excuses because we've lowered our own personal standards. We always give excuses so that we can manipulate the people around us to see things from our point of view. But at the end of the day, it's because we did not understand this and we failed ourselves first by not committing to these things, we end up here. Now, majority of people here, they give up. Most people that are on a weight loss program, and I talk mostly, and I'm going to use the word women loosely. A woman that has been trying to lose weight for the last 20 years, chances are all she's been doing is 20 years she's been repeating these 3 weeks. She gets a new diet, she gets a new program, she tries very hard, she loses a bit of weight, she gets into the valley of despair, nothing happens. What does she do? She gives up and then she goes back. So for 20 years, this is all she's been doing here and going up. She's never gone past here. Now, my question here is, how do you go past here? And this is what makes our Dream Body Fitness program totally different. You have to have a very strong, compelling why. Now, why is intrinsic? It's not extrinsic. If you're starting to come to gym because you want to lose weight to fit in your skinny jeans, because you're getting married in 12 weeks, because you're going on a school reunion, or because you're going on holiday, those things will only last for a very short time. Give me any woman that is getting married in 12 weeks. Trust me, in 12 weeks she'll lose 12 kilos because the motivation is very strong. But what happens when I see them after their honeymoon? They've put on all the weight plus VAT because you can't keep on fighting. Anytime there's a fight between two people, one has to lose. And we have to have a very strong why here. Why is it important for you to be in the best shape of your life? Why do you want to lose this weight? Or the easiest way to ask this question is, how will your life change if you achieve the goals that you've set for yourself? Because the minute you get that answer, then everything totally changes. Just to give you a few here is, number one, you can never reach your full potential in life until you are the best shape of your life. And I'm not talking about being a skinny person, having big biceps, having a six-pack abs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having enough energy to be functional on a day-to-day basis. Because for you to fulfill your potential, you need a lot of energy, and that can only happen if you are in the best shape of your life. Not a model shape, not Hollywood shape, not what everybody else is telling, but being the best version of yourself. The second thing here is, going to gym and looking after yourself is a sign of self-love. If self-care is a value to you, you have a husband, you have kids, and you have a wife. If you say you love these people, now love is not a noun. Love is a verb. If you love these people, if my wife loves me and I love my wife and I love my kids, my first and foremost responsibility is to make sure that I stay in their life as long as possible. Now, if you say you love these people and you don't really care what you put in your mouth, you don't really make time for exercise, is that really love? When you look at it like that, of course, it changes. The other third reason I'll give you here, and we've got a lot of reasons, but for the sake of this workshop, I'll limit them to three. You'll never be able to earn your full potential until you are in the best shape of your life. And then when I'm talking about being able to reach your maximum potential, money is energy. And the more energy you have, the more money you attract. Tired people don't make money. Lastly, here, just giving you a bonus. Just the fact, have you ever been in a relationship with a tired person? Have you ever worked with tired people? Anytime you're tired, you're reactionary. You're always in high negative energy, emotional state. You snap at people, you're fearful, you're anxious, you're too defensive. So the minute you realize, why is it that I want to lose weight, and you find your why, that's the first thing. This is a place where we're going to sit first, even before you start your program. What is the purpose of this? Why do you want to do this? The minute you do that, straight away, that is the only thing that will take you from the valley of despair. And it brings you to level 4, which is what I call informed pessimism. Now, here you know that for you to get what you want, you have to go through the pain. And what are the decisions that you come to when it comes to informed pessimism? You start to embrace pain. You start to embrace stress. All of a sudden you realize that commitment, all of a sudden you realize that you cannot become anything. Your life cannot, your personal life cannot change without self-discipline. You realize that your life will never change until you change your habits, because your habits, it's useless for you to say, I'm going to lose weight, and you haven't changed something that you do on a daily basis. You wake up at the same time, you rush from the house, you don't eat enough, you're too hungry during the day. And most of us are complaining about load shedding when it comes to ESCOM, but most of us are load shedding at a very personal level. We don't eat right between 10 and 12. We load shedding, we drink coffees, we eat biscuits. Between 3 and 5, our energy dips. That's when we start looking for energy drinks. So here, the minute you've decided that, you start embracing all those hardships. Remember, happiness comes from overcoming your obstacles. And the next stage, of course, becomes success. So majority of you are failing here because mentally, psychologically, intrinsically, from a spiritual, in spirit point of view, you've never had this kind of preparation for you to have a strong why that needs to be done to get there. So for the first time, we need to be able to get you from here, get you there, and be able to achieve the body of your life. Remember, it's useless to lose weight and keep on putting it on again. What is the point? Anytime you start a diet and anytime you start any exercise program, ask yourself, can you be able to live the same way for the rest of your life? If the answer is no, do yourself a favor and please don't do it, because you'll frustrate yourself. See you later, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, remember to subscribe so that you do not miss out on any of our informative videos. See you later and catch you at the gym. Ciao bello. Bye-bye.